Oh man, look at that, guys. The sun is shining. Happy Thursday from fatherhood for the rest of us. A little bit of that sunshine. Don't stare at my mom. Always have to look at the sun. Stare at the sun. Guys, this morning, BJJ report. I'm gonna hit a couple things first. Give us some hearts, give us some likes, share if you enjoy these. Also, if you're a father, lots of awesome things going on for fatherhood at this point in time. We've got, make sure my car's not in gear. We've got Fatherhood for the Rest of Us is presenting a Father's Eve event in the neighborhood, front of the neighborhood. Lots of people going to be attending that. Go to father'seve.com if you're looking for a Father's Eve event and you're not nearby me. Go check that out. Hashtag Father's Eve. Dove's Men Care is another thing that I'm participating with. They got together a lot of and sponsored Dad 2.0. They've been doing it for a number of years, and they are helping with the fatherhood movement to move like paternity care, paternity available for men, for fathers. Any of you guys that have been fathers are probably familiar with having to go through the experience, not of course of giving birth, but for being there when your child is born and not really having that time to bond with your son or daughter. And that time, as science continues to prove out, and what a lot of us already know intuitively, is very, very important, integral for that bonding experience with your newborn. It helps them actually quite a bit more substantially than you probably even believe. So Dove's Men Care is going around to self-funded paternity leave and adding funds, helping people to fund their paternity leaves, no strings attached. And they are also creating and extending paternity leave at Unilever, their parent company. So I think that's all really important stuff. A nice gesture and a nice step forward for some of our USA, United States side companies to be taking. So that is the beginning. I guess the BJJ report is sponsored a little bit in part by that and what's going on. Also, hey, coming out of Shell Shock Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, allowing us to train at 6 a.m., getting John Shell, Professor John Shell, to show up this morning and stand in. Sam Steph usually does it. Really awesome to work with a black belt at 6 a.m. to get your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on. And today we went, as John said, we went down the rabbit hole a few times into a lot of different areas and spaces. But one of the key takeaways today was, spine alignment, right? When you are in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you really want to put your opponent at a disadvantage by trying to keep their spine like malaligned. Like if you've got their head twisted this way and the rest of their body's kind of straight, it's nothing like super ultra forceful where you're trying to crack their neck. You're simply just keeping their spine out of alignment, their head out of alignment with the body, so that the body loses all of its strength, or it's forced to, your body wants to go into the direction that your head is going in. This is not news, people. This is an application of some very well-known items. Very well known that if you look left or right, that is the direction your body tends to go into. I don't know if any of you, I still remember this, like riding my bicycle or skateboard growing up as a child. You look to the left or right and like you gravitate towards that direction. Tony Robbins, all of the self-help people, people of motivational ilk, if you would. Focus goes. Wherever you focus, that's where the energy goes. So if you've got your head twisted this way, your body, your spine wants to go in that direction with you. While it's great to put that disadvantage, apply that as a disadvantage to your opponent, it's also something really worth looking at and exploring in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world, if it's not something that you've already thought of. So, you want to place your head in the direction you want to go. You don't want somebody else turning your head for you. I mean, that's shiny object syndrome, right, guys? I'm as guilty as the next person. Shiny object, look, there it goes. And I turn my head that way and I lose focus. I get distracted. Now, it's okay to, get distracted, but you want to turn your head where you want to turn your head. So understand that it's okay to get distracted. Understand that you're gonna get distracted. The thing you want to do is readjust your spine, your head, into the direction that you want to get back into, right? So, I mean, if somebody's got my head twisted this way with their arms, their shoulders, their knees, I'm using the rest of my body just to self-correct. Sometimes you don't even do it with just your head. Guys, the heart, as all ancient cultures have indicated, plays a huge role in what we do, right? Not just our mind. So I only say that because sometimes we think that all we need to do is use our head for everything. Sometimes we ignore our emotions. Sometimes we ignore a feeling. But sometimes it's important to understand that the head's not the only thing that needs to move in order to get back into alignment. Sometimes we need to pay attention to our emotions. Sometimes we need to pay attention to what is beneath our neckline, and make the adjustments there. So let's say again, somebody's got my head stuck here, and I'm malaligned. I've got to make adjustments and to get myself back into alignment. Use some of my emotion. Use some of my passion to refocus, right? Use some of find a driving force, right? Your mental capacity, while it is amazing, is not your only possible, driving force. Sometimes it's going to take a physical feeling. Feel it in your heart. Use that feeling in your heart to take that. You know what I'm talking about. You get that shock, that gasp, that surge of adrenaline. It doesn't surge through your brain, guys. Where does that surge from? You tell me. And use that surge to set the rest of your body and emotion into motion, to come into alignment with your head, to refocus, to not necessarily eliminate. Eliminating distractions, I think, takes a lot of effort. It's not that you want to eliminate distractions so much as you want to recognize when you are distracted. So it's not so much that you want to eliminate what you're, things to look at. You want to notice when you are looking away. You want to notice when you are out of alignment. You want to take that time and realign in the most effortless way. And by saying effortless, hey Taryn, what's up? By being effortless doesn't mean that it's not going to take any effort. You want to find it the easiest, and I use easy, just like you Occam's razor, right? The path of least resistance. Can you have your head in a headlock and all twisted up in the knees, and eventually twist your neck and head into the right position, and using all your brain power and all your head power, everything that's up here and above? Or can you use the, whatever? So my head's like 10, 20 pounds up here? I don't know. And I've got another 140 pounds beneath me that I can surge beneath of it just to make that one effort to get my head into alignment. Which one do you think is going to be easier for me to do? Right? Same thing again. Like, sometimes I just notice that you're distracted. Do what you can to pay attention, be aware that you're distracted, and move back into alignment. It doesn't mean you have to jerk your head. Sometimes it means you've got to move your body a moment. Realize that you've got to move one way in order to get into the way that you got to get into. Anyways, guys, that is it from the BJJ report. You're keeping your head aligned with your spine. All right, guys. Thanks, John, for showing up this morning. Really appreciate all the lessons and tutelage and the refining moments that we went into this morning. We went into a lot of depth and the depth really it's really funny. The layers of depth in jiu-jitsu are really only fingernail deep. Only fingernail deep. But, a mile wide in application. So, fingernail deep, mile wide. That is what's happened in this morning. Talk to you guys later.